Someone You Should Know. A program about people you know, and even more that you don't. Hosted by Stuart Sax, veteran, husband, father, and grandfather. Now, here's your host, Stuart Sax.
Well, hello and welcome again to another episode of Someone You Should Know. We're going to have an extremely informative show today. You may want to have a pad of paper and a pencil to take down some notes and all, but it's an extremely important subject and all, because we are really almost at the 11th hour now for Medicare sign up and everything. But I have an expert with us today that's going to help you muddy through the waters that's out there. We are brought to you, as we always are, by our dear friend Christine Dean, who is thenetworkingdiva.com. If you have any questions regarding your current website, you want to make it a little bit better, you're having a little difficulty with that strategic marketing plan, you want to make your bottom line a little bit better, or maybe it's just a personal website and maybe you want to do something like what we're doing and doing a podcast, you need to reach out to Christine Dean, because she can help you set it up, she can help you monitor it, she can help you improve it, and she knows her business, and she takes care of this show so I don't have to. Reach out to her, Christine Dean, thenetworkingdiva.com. Thank you, Christine, for everything that you do for us. Well, as I alluded to at the beginning of the show, it is Medicare time. Oh, I know people say, oh, I hate Medicare. It's a love-hate relationship. If you're a 65 or over, you have to have it. But what do you do? What is Part B? What is Advantage? What is the Part D? Prescription drug. I don't know. And I have tried to research it year after year after year. But thank goodness I got Toni King right here with us today to help us to try and navigate what all of this is about. Toni, thank you. Welcome for helping to save all of us in this world of Medicare.
Well, we need to save America, because right now there's 69 million people that should be listening to this podcast about what's happening with Medicare Part D, because it doesn't affect you just for January 1st. It affects you for your whole year for 2026.
And I think it's safe to say that a lot of people, when they, because the numbers are just starting to come out almost a month late, but, people are going to see what their, coverages are going to skyrocket to, and they're gonna be pulling their hair out.
Well, they just have to get over it. That's the way it is. We can't change what's happening as far as Medicare is concerned.
Yeah.
Everyone gets this, your Medicare and You handbook. And you know how much information that tells you? Zero.
Yeah, it's just a pretty publication.
The only reason why it's sent out is because in the back of the book is your Medicare Advantage and your Medicare prescription drug plans for your area for 2026. But people that are on Medicare have got to go online to medicare.gov and check their prescriptions. I have a lot of people that are contacting me because they haven't looked at their prescription drug plan in the last 5 or 10 years. They just keep going with what they have. And it's not like that. You can't do that anymore. You've got to look at it every year.
Well, and a lot of us become complacent and we look at it and, okay, so it goes up from $4.50 to $4.95, or it goes to $5.20 or whatever. But this year I have started to see, where people have been paying $20 for a drug, it could be $120 going forward.
Oh, it can be more than that.
Yeah. Well,
let me just give you an idea. There's one prescription drug plan, and I can't mention insurance companies' names because I'm not here to promote the insurance company. But if people have this plan, they know what happens. In 2023, it was $6.80. 2024, it was $9.80. Last year, that plan was $44.80 for a Part D prescription drug plan. This year, it's $94.80 with a $615 deductible. And I personally am saving people over $2,000 a year in just changing a prescription drug plan.
And again, because people become complacent and say, I don't understand it, so I'll just go with the same plan. But to go from that, $9 to $40, that was a hit. But now to go from 40 to 90 something, I mean, that's over
right.
100% increase. That's crazy.
And this is a very big A-rated Medicare insurance company that's marketing it, but it's unless that plan meets your needs, you're wasting your money. And also there's another plan that was $89.26 in Texas, and you're in Texas, Stuart, just like I am.
Yeah.
This year it's going to be $114 with a $130 deductible, but it doesn't cover all your prescriptions. So, you just really need to get in the game. This year, Humira is not covered by Medicare. And if you're someone
that is a drug that I'm familiar with, because I have a son that has Crohn's disease, and Humira was a medication that has been very effective for people with Crohn's disease, as well as some other diseases. But I don't want to scare or shock the people that are watching and listening to you right now, but I want you to give them a few statistics about just Humira, that one drug, and what the cost is going to.
Well, I found this out because a client that I work with, and I helped him get his Medicare Part D, and I do his Medicare supplement. I'm an insurance agent. I know how it operates. He sent me something on Humira, and that's what he takes. And the Humira is not covered anymore. And it's going to be an $8,900 prescription, but the cost is $99,000 a year here in Texas. I had a person in California, it's $105 in California, $105,000. Humira is not covered. If you would Google, why is Medicare not paying Humira on the Part D prescription drug plan, AI says it's because you've got to pick a biosimilar drug. That means you got to go with something less expensive. But this one gentleman has the Crohn's disease, and when he has to go to the bathroom, blood just pulls out of his intestines, and the Humira is the only thing that works. So he's going to have to go to the company that makes Humira and get it at no cost. He can get on there. He was on that before he got off it because it was covered. He got it covered under his plan, but it's a game.
Well, and the only other option is for people that are on a drug like Humira or maybe other medications, they've got to go out of country in order to find their medications that's any cheaper than buying it here domestically.
Yeah, that's not going away. And everything that is changing is because of the Inflation Reduction Act that started in what, 3 or 4 years ago is when the Inflation Reduction Act was signed into law.
Right.
This year, there's 10 prescriptions that are covered under the Inflation Reduction Act. And that's what changed everything. A lot of your Medicare Advantage plans are totally getting out of the PPO area for Medicare Advantage. Those days are, the days of you going and getting a PPO plan and being able to go out of network and come to MD Anderson in Houston are coming to a halt. So if you've got a Medicare supplement with original Medicare Part A and Part B, and you're trying to control the costs, stay with the Medicare supplement plan you have. Do not go with a Medicare Advantage plan. You are risking your health. Don't you think, Stuart?
Well, and that's something that I want you to clarify for the people that are watching and listening right now is we see the commercials on TV about, we'll sign up for an Advantage plan because your premiums could be as much as zero. What is the difference between your traditional plans and the Advantage plans, and what are the pluses and the minuses for the Advantage plans?
Okay, you want me to really tell you?
Yes,
Reality?
please.
Okay. Medicare got started July 30th, 1965, when LBJ, President Johnson, flew to Independence, Missouri, and signed Medicare into law in front of Harry Truman. The cost of Medicare was $40 once a year. The premium was $3 back then. That was in 1965. That's really not that far away. But they didn't have the prescriptions that they have now.
Right.
So today, the cost is just exploding. And people need to realize that when you're on original Medicare, which is Part A and Part B of Medicare, and you get a Medicare supplement to go with it, well, generally it's a Plan G plan because that's about the only one we can enroll in now. You and your doctor are in control of your health care. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call a doctor. You've got original Medicare with a Medicare supplement. Medicare's going to pay. When you're on an Advantage plan, whether it's an HMO and there's very few PPO plans, you're at the mercy of that insurance company. Okay?
Yeah.
And they are looking to control dollars because they get paid X amount of dollars by Medicare to cover their care. You are literally no longer in Medicare. Now, when you go on your Medicare.gov website and you look at if you got Part A and Part B, if you have an Advantage plan, it doesn't show your Part A and Part B anymore. That changed this year.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, everything is going to that insurance company. So you can always go to an Advantage plan. If I have a health issue and my premiums start really just escalating during open enrollment, which is our Medicare's open enrollment, which is from October 15th through December 7th, I can go to an Advantage plan. They don't ask any health questions. After 6 months, you have to be able to answer the health questions to change your Medicare supplement. And that's very serious.
And am I correct? If you have traditional Medicare coverage and everything, you cannot change it at all until the enrollment period next fall, next year.
You can always change your Medicare supplement. You can always change Medicare calls it original Medicare. Doctors call it traditional Medicare. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Original is traditional, but you're in control with original or traditional Medicare. Okay. When you go with an HMO or a PPO, whichever plan you go with, that insurance company is controlling your care. And they're always watching their dollars.
Now, if you have an Advantage plan, do you have the options of changing the Advantage plan during the year?
No, you can only change it during open enrollment from October 15th through December 7th. You're stuck. If you pick an Advantage plan, and maybe you're coming from Dallas where you live and you're coming to MD Anderson for cancer treatment, you just gave up MD Anderson. You're going to have to go where that HMO tells you to go and get their permission. You're at the mercy of the insurance company. When you're on original Medicare with a Medicare supplement, your kids, whatever, are in control of your health care. And for anybody that doesn't know how to use a computer, ask your kids to help you. Don't just wait till the last day when you've got a fire going because Medicare is no longer paying your prescription drugs. They cannot do anything for you after December 7th. You're in trouble.
Now, another website, folks that are watching and listening, is tonisays.com. I need for everybody, if you are of Medicare age, you need to check it out. If you are younger and you are even approaching Medicare, and where did I see 10,000 people every day turn 65 years of age?
For the next 10 plus years. One
Per
person gets
day.
on Medicare. One person's turning 65 every 8 seconds a day.
Well, do the math, folks. What that means is the amount of people going into the system, seeking the answers to all of these questions about what plans to take, is exploding day by day. It's hard to comprehend, but there are people like Toni that are out there that can help you navigate what this is all about. How many people do you talk with every fall when they have to get back into to their plans? Either groups or one-on-one.
I can't answer that question because this year is a different situation than what it was last year. This year is just there's so many problems with it that you really need to go online. Let's focus on prescription drugs. You need to go online and look at your Part D plan and make sure that it meets your needs. I'm saving people just $2,000 in their premium because their plan that's $100 and something a month is not covering their prescriptions. There is one plan in Texas or one plan nationwide that is a zero premium plan. Sometimes it's the best situation. But when you go on Medicare.gov and you look at 2026, what prescription drug plan meets your needs, whatever the first one comes up is what you need to take. But you need to make sure that all of your prescriptions are done monthly. A lot of people's are quarterly. Well, you got to change it to monthly. And some people will meet their $2,100 out of pocket the first month.
Yeah.
So,
Especially if you're taking Humira.
Well, if you're taking Humira, it doesn't matter. Humira is not going to even be on there because Medicare doesn't pay for it. But this year, the Inflation Reduction Act put Eliquis, Xarelto, Januvia, Jardiance, Farxiga. A lot of people take Farxiga. Entresto, Enbrel. There's one called Imbruvica, which is a cancer med. Stelara was $27,000 a month, not a year. That price has come down. Any prescription you see advertised on TV is not cheap. Okay?
Right.
And there's only one insulin that was kind of changed, which is Novolog. But things are definitely different than what it was last year. You have got to get in the game. And you got to put control on your side, not the insurance company's side. They're looking at what they're going to look like towards the stock market. I mean, who cares? I don't care whether they're number one on the stock market. I want to be healthy and I want to make sure I know what I'm doing. Don't you, Stuart?
Well, I want to be able to take my medications and also eat myself and feed my family. I don't want to feel that every dollar that comes in has to go for my medications. And unfortunately, with some people, the medication is one of their top priorities.
That is their priority. They live for their meds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
fortunately, hold on a minute, Stuart. Sometimes doctors will put you on a new drug and they think you've got enough common sense to know the drug they put you on is going to replace the other drug. And people don't, they keep taking all the different prescriptions. They never stop taking it. So you got to make sure that if a doctor is getting you a new prescription, then find out if the one it's replacing, that you don't take it.
That you're comparing apples to apples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terribly confusing.
I know that there are a lot of medications, and folks talk to your doctors about it, because sometimes there is now a generic equivalent to the branded name. And also there are a lot of pharmacies now that are compounding medications, and also that you can get a compounded version of what the branded medication is, and that can save you money too. But between you and your doctor and your pharmacist, find out if you are, actually comparing apples to apples, or is there enough of a difference that it's going to have a negative effect on your recovery?
And you want to make sure that the pharmacy you're using is a preferred pharmacy. Some of these compounded that are making the prescriptions, those aren't covered by Medicare. So, you just got to get in the game. You can't wait. Teach your kids what to do, how to take care of it, all of that. That's real important.
In my mind, what you really need is someone like Toni King, who spends their entire day and night planning and taking care of all of this, because to me, it's all just rhetoric. It's just legal mumbo jumbo. I don't take the time to read the fine print and all. But then when I see the bill come in and I say, well, why? It's not supposed to be this. Why? And you try to check it out. Forget it. Their hands are tied.
If the bill comes after January 1st, you're in trouble. So, Stuart, you want to know how I got to this point in life?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Well, you said you were in the insurance.
My ex-husband had decided that we were going to move to Mississippi, and he was going to make a fortune because he was going to start selling houses. And I've always lived in Houston, Texas. So I moved to Cleveland, Mississippi, of all places. And I did workshops for Humana because prescription drugs, Medicare, the Medicare Advantage and the prescription drugs was just getting started. And a gentleman called Social Security who enrolls people in Medicare. Medicare does not know how to enroll you. Social Security does all the enrolling. He told him he had company insurance when he had retirement benefits. He used the wrong word. And they said, sign the back of your card and send it in. You don't need Part B. He went in the hospital the next month, had a stent put in his heart, and owed $10,000. He was in his initial enrollment period. When he called me, he only had 60 days left. I said, you better get in your car, drive to the Social Security office, and enroll in Part B. He did that, and the Cigna plan that he was on came back and paid the $10,000 because he was in what's called his initial enrollment period. Had he waited past that 90 days, he would have had to wait a whole year, but nothing would have been covered for his doctor or anything under Part B of Medicare. It's all about rules.
Yeah.
And they don't ask you 2 or 3 different questions. You tell them what you need, they tell you what you want. Social Security enrolls people in Medicare. There's 3 family members, the IRS, Social Security, and Medicare. The IRS tells Social Security what your income is, and Social Security enrolls you and lets Medicare knows what your premiums should be. Who would ever know? Why do they make it so confusing? So we stay confused and the government's in control and not us.
Yep. See, and you are well versed on this, but those 10,000 people per day that are going into Medicare, the vast majority of them have no clue. All they know is, now that I'm 65, the cost of my health insurance is going to go down. Not necessarily.
Yeah. You got to put the control on your side, not the insurance company's side. And the insurance company is looking to get as much money as they can for Advantage plans right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's 69 million people and they enroll 50 million out of that, that's just money that's leaving Medicare and going towards the insurance company. The insurance company has to pay that Medicare Advantage company for your care. It's kind of confusing, but we just take it a little. You gotta eat it a little bit at a time. You eat an elephant one bite at a time, right?
Yeah. Potato chips you eat many at a time.
Yes. And they usually make us get fatter. And people need to learn how to control their weight. You want to start exercising, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, except they tell you to do all of those things, but that doesn't necessarily drop your Medicare coverages or your cost of Medicare.
Yeah, they're all on Mounjaro or Ozempic or whatever. I mean, those have made such a big difference. So I don't know. We don't know what the repercussions are going to be of those yet.
Yeah, for those that are just going into Medicare, what are the things that people really should be aware of before they sign up for Medicare?
So if you're just getting on Medicare, you're turning 65. If you're receiving your Social Security check, you'll get your Medicare card because Social Security knows that you're turned 65. If you're self-employed like I am and you're turning 65, then you got to go online to socialsecurity.gov and enroll. But if you're someone that's working with true company insurance, you've got to explore that avenue, explore that situation. Because if you're working and you've got great benefits and you're working for a company that's larger than 20 employees, you may not need to enroll in Part B. So do you want to pay the premium that for this year is $185? If your income is under that amount, if it's over, then you got to pay more and you're still working. So, you got to know what's going on.
So when you turn 65, you are not mandated to get into Social Security. If you are still employed and you are under a company's medication, medical plan, you can stay with that and you can enroll in Medicare when you're 68 or 70 or so later when you retire.
Okay, you want me to add something new to that?
Uh-oh.
And blow your mind, Stuart? I had a client who worked for a very large oil company. They have a group health plan, and they sent out something to people that were already on Part A of Medicare because they're getting their Social Security check. He was 72. They said, you now need to get a prescription drug plan because your plan is not what they call creditable. That you've got to get a prescription drug plan. I mean, the insurance, the plans are changing. The insurance companies are changing so that they don't have to spend as much money. I mean, it's confusing. So you just got to take a little bit of time. Don't wait till the last minute to do this.
Yeah. And again, folks, I've said it a couple of times already in the show, and I'll say it again. ToniSays.com.
TONI.
And look at it, digest it, because there's a lot of valuable information. And then there's a phone number. You can reach out to Toni if you've got questions and you need assistance.
Right. Our number, and they need to realize I am Toni with an I and not a Y because I'm a girl. Okay. So it's ToniSays.com. And my phone number is 832-519-8664. That's semi like an 800 number. It's a Google number and it goes directly You leave a message and somebody will call you back. My email is info, INFO, at TONISAYS.com.
And again, folks, it's on the website. So that's why if I told you at the top of the show, get a pad of paper and a pencil, jot it down, save it. If you're watching the show, it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen,
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
should
I
be able to
see
get
it.
it. And
Yeah.
all it's important because you should not only be informed right now for this coming year and all, but to have that information as you go forward into 26 for 27. It's
Oh,
just,
we have
wow.
no idea what's going to happen for 27 is when Trump will make the changes towards Medicare. Right now, we're at the end of how Biden changed it with the Inflation Reduction Act. This has nothing to do with Trump making changes. He wasn't able to do it yet. So I kind of hope he just blows this up totally.
Yeah, it's you were in the insurance business before. Why on earth did you decide to dive into the deep end of Medicare?
I have no idea. You'll me be real honest with you, that was God calling me. And God knew that people needed, and I'm not trying to say I'm a super religious person, but that God gave me a new direction and totally changed my whole insurance. It's not about whether I make a commission selling a Medicare supplement. That's not it.
Yeah.
It's about making sure that people get the right information that's not going to affect them today, but for the rest of their Medicare life. Because,
and you correct me if I'm wrong, but you make a bad mistake this year and it's going to cost you big dollars. It could affect your future.
I have people that say, well, why do I need to get on Medicare? I take no prescriptions. Well, the penalty goes all the way back to the day you turn 65. What if you wait 15 years? That's monthly. That's 15 years times 12. I can't even tell you how many months that's going to be.
Yeah.
It's 150 plus, so it's 180 months times, let's say it's 50 cents on penalty a month. 180 times 50, no telling what that's going to be. Plus your Part D premium. So, they know how to work it so that we get confused.
Well, and also there's another aspect to this. There are some red flags that are out there that people need to be aware of when you get those inquiries, those calls from you don't know where, telling you that they have got a Medicare Advantage plan or whatever that's going to save you hundreds of dollars and all. How can people be aware of the scams that are out there? What should they look for?
If you do not know who's calling you, don't answer the phone. If you do not know who's at the door, don't give them your Medicare information. There's a video that Dr. Oz did about the scams on Medicare, that people were going door to door knocking about hospice, saying that you could get some free benefits through hospice and they'll pay you X amount of dollars. And that was totally bogus. And that was out. So, look for the videos that Dr. Oz is doing in regards to it. There was just something else done about Medicare and Medicare scams. If you don't know the person, never give them your Social Security check, your Medicare number. If you give them your Medicare number, they can go and buy anything and you don't know it, and you're charged and you don't even realize that.
Well, yeah, my mother used to say, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. But we're talking about our generation. We're talking about people who are the most vulnerable. It's the elderly that are getting preyed upon by all of these scam artists. And that's why you, like Toni said, if you don't recognize, if you're not certain that it's a legitimate inquiry and all,
Hang the phone up.
yeah, hang the phone up or click delete.
That's right, and block that call.
Yeah, and that's not the easiest thing to do, because the scammers also are extremely professional at what they're doing and making it sound like they absolutely are from those agencies that are there to help you.
I have a friend whose father was 80 years old, 80, 84, somewhere along there. He got a call saying that his grandson was in jail and they needed $3,000.
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah.
went to CVS, got a money order, and sent the money. That's where they told him to go. Western Union, the $3,000 to the people. The kid was at work. It was a scam. And Mr. Houston, I mean, he was with Coca-Cola. He was a vice president in the Houston area for Coca-Cola. It wasn't like he hadn't worked, but he was 84 years old and his mind had changed a little bit.
Well, and now with AI can recreate the same tone of voice as your grandson. So when you're listening to that recording and all, you swear, yes, that's my grandson. I recognize his voice. And if he's telling me to send $3,000, I got to do it right away.
Yeah. Well, always go back to your kids and find out what's really going on. Ask questions. You can wait a day or two. It's not going to be a disaster.
Well,
but
yeah.
That was the first real scam. That was 10 years ago that I saw that.
And I believe that if you have a funny feeling about it, if it's doubtful, hit delete. Hit that delete button.
Medicare doesn't care if you're Republican or Democrat, if you vote or don't vote, if you're black, white, green, or purple, if you're from the United States or you're from another country. It affects everybody the same way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, so what do we, the average mom and pop, the first thing to do, is it worthwhile if you don't take that much in medications to DIY, go muddle through it yourself, or reach out to a broker or a professional, somebody that knows the system, and put it in their lap?
I would reach out to a family member. I don't know if I would reach out to an insurance agent, because if the insurance agent doesn't make a commission off of that company, they're not going to promote it. So you want to go online and see who comes up first, which Medicare Part D plan comes up first, and then go there. Some of the companies are not paying insurance agents this year, so the agents aren't marketing it. They'll tell you go to callmedicare.gov to get your prescription drug plan if they can't make any money on it.
Yeah.
So
and compare the prices of the various companies that will pay for those medications and everything, and use that when determining which plan to get under too.
Yeah. And if you don't take a lot of prescriptions, get the least expensive plan. And remember, there's GoodRx, there's Single Care. Amazon has a plan. Mark Cuban has a plan, but they are not creditable as far as Medicare is concerned. Still get a Medicare Part D plan. There's one with zero premium. Mm-hmm. You can do that. You know who I'm talking about. There's zero premium plans. You can call the name. I can't. But there's zero premium plans. That's what I'm on. And if I need something that is not covered, that's a generic, I'll look it up on GoodRx or Single Care, but I still have a prescription drug plan to keep me from getting my Part D. There's a Part D penalty and there's a Part B penalty. It's different situations.
And I will use a quote that Toni has used: "What you don't know can hurt you."
No, not can, will.
Well, okay.
What you
easy.
don't know will hurt you, not
Will
for today, but for today and the rest of your Medicare life. Yeah.
Well, ToniSays.com. That's TONI. Just like above her beautiful face right there on the wall, it says ToniSays.com. Go in it, visit it, and all you have questions, follow up, and all. Toni, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to discuss this extremely important subject.
Well, I
With me and
appreciate
my
it,
folks.
Stuart. We can do some other calls after the year, so
Start
people that are
pre-planning for next
enrolling,
time. Yeah.
but we need to get ready for next open enrollment. It's going to be a whole different ball game.
Right. Well, I end my show each week with Oscar Wilde, "Be yourself because everyone else is already taken."
That's
So
right.
I want you to go out there and make it a great day and all, and happy holidays to everyone who's watching and listening. And again, a big, big, big thank you to my very special guest, Toni King. Thank
Well,
you.
you and I are going to be best friends now, and people need to remember there's Thanksgiving and then we have Christmas coming. So we've got blessings coming our way.
Absolutely. Well, take care of you. The very, very best to you, Toni. And thank you for taking the time to be with me.
Well, thank you, Stuart. I will talk to you later.
Okay.
Someone you should know.